Welcome to the One Harvest Podcast. We got my co-host on the couch here, my medicine man, my farmer, my best friend, Kyle Hewish.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Likewise. And we got our also new co-host on the couch, my man that's been around the industry for a long time. He's a brand ambassador. You might have caught him on one of our other episodes. Did a phenomenal job, dropped some gems, and I'm very grateful to have him on here today. His name is Chino.
Chino.
What's poppy?
You might have seen him before on the streets. Look out for him. Our special guest, like I told everyone before, we're going to bring that patient, we're going to bring that customer, and we're going to bring the people that actually use the medicine properly and don't abuse it. And I'm super grateful to have this man here. William, thank you so much.
Yo, what's happening?
Chill Will, baby.
Chill Will.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you for having me here. It's a blessing.
Yeah, man.
Big respect, man.
Yes.
You got a phenomenal story for us today. I can't wait for our listeners to hear it. Let's start off with how this came to when you first went to the doctor and just
How you were feeling.
Everything.
You know?
Like when you first experienced some type of pain. Let's start there.
Yes, I would say it started with the abnormal chest pain, real severe. I almost feel like someone had a hammer and they're just hitting my chest every heartbeat. And that would happen after little things like stress, if I hit a workout pretty hard in the gym, because you tend to get inflammation when your muscles are working. And that's where, the thing would start up that I didn't know what it was until later. Yeah.
So it was tightness in the chest, and then you ended up going to the doctor, right? I was reading the bio that you sent me.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
To a point where you pretty much got told no, that you had no problems, that you were pretty much sore and you needed to go home and rest. Do you want to explain?
Really?
Yeah,
some of
so I got shut down on and off for about 2 years between the clinics and emergency because I was a young guy, 21. I was fit, I was in shape. So they looked at me like, nah, man, this guy's dated. He probably has anxiety. So they threw me anxiety meds. I never took one to this day.
They just wrote you off.
They just wrote me off, collect that little
Did you do any blood work?
They did do some blood work once or twice, but they never really looked in there like thoroughly.
Wow.
In my chest, yeah. So
that's crazy.
Once that came to and they sent you home, what brought you back to the doctor knowing that something's wrong and you got to figure this out?
So to be transparent, I was one of those guys anti-doctor, anti-hospital, which I've learned the hard way now. But my grandma was the one that persuaded me to go in. No, you're just off. You're way tired. You just have a lot more energy, sleeping all the time. I went on Memorial Weekend or President's Day weekend. I went in there, did the scan because she said, look, he's been doing this for 2 years. You guys got to do something more. There's something going on. Did an x-ray, looked a little foggy, and they're like, all right, we're going to run the CT. Take a long time. I was in the room for an hour and a half, and I'm like, did they forget we're in the room? They come back with a team of doctors, like 4 or 5. They just start rolling the little walls, whiteboards, start drawing stuff, and I was like, what is going on right now?
Damn.
Yeah, and that's when everything
That's some
hit.
scary stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Once that happened, what did they say to you? Like, what was the next step?
The next step, they're like, you are not going home. You're getting med tonight, and you have a big old huge tumor inside your chest. And we don't know if it's cancerous, benign, but we got to get a biopsy done first thing in the morning, and we'll go from there. And I was like, damn.
And once you got that biopsy, what'd they end up doing, and how'd you pursue with that?
So pretty much the biopsy, they usually take a little bit of time, of course, to test it, because cancer positive actually takes longer, believe it or not. Like when you get good news, which is no cancer, it's quick. Hey, you're good. You're good to go. But I think it's about 2 days after they hit me up. They're like, all right, this is what you got. Good thing is there's a high success with treatment with XABC. And so you just got to get that going and scheduled. And there's a lot to take in, though.
Were they trying to push chemo on you right away?
Yeah, because they said at that time, out of all the different methods, radiation, chemo, surgery, a lot of those were more risk than benefit, especially surgery, because it's actually leaning against my heart. Yeah.
So that's why your heart was hurting, right? Where the chest pain was coming from?
Yeah, so like when I got like the inflammation going on my muscles, that's where I really felt my heartbeat hurting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah, 'cause I was seeing stars every day standing. I didn't even have to move it. When you work out real hard, you start
Yeah.
I get
Kinda
that on
like
a
little-
regular
like
basis.
lightheaded.
Lightheaded, dizzy, like you're about to
Shit.
faint. And I was like, man, something's not right. But I was just trained as a young boy, man, to just suck things up. That's
Right.
just how
Yeah.
we're wired.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm just getting older, just like Pops. There you go.
Grandma's, no, we got to get you to the doctor. We need to get this checked out.
Yeah,
My grandson's not acting normal.
She
Yeah.
man, she was about to pull me by the ear if I didn't go. So
That's
Wow.
what's up.
so I
Shout
had
out to Grandma.
Shout out to
For
Grandma,
real.
man. They're
Grandma's
the
no
best. in the world.
best, bro.
Yeah, what a lifesaver.
Yes.
So-
I don't even know if I would have been here, honestly, if she didn't push me to go in there.
Big
Damn.
respect.
Yeah. Yep.
And Kyle was saying you ended up doing chemo.
Yes.
Can you talk about that and your experience?
Yeah, so pretty much I did a pretty harsh chemo due to the size and the location, but they wanted to do 3 chemos, but due to the tumor taking up almost 100% of one lung, I couldn't handle the third one, so they ended up doing 2.
Oh,
But I
shit.
did 8 hours a day, 5 days a week,
Hmm.
1 week on, 2 weeks off. And that was about roughly a half year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Were you consuming cannabis during that time?
Believe it or not, they actually prescribed me a capsule form of cannabis for anti-nausea because, as most people know, chemo is the most harshest
It's rough.
nausea-activating things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I never, God forbid, never threw up once. I've had a couple of urges, but I really truly think that because of those capsules, that's what kept me at peace with my mind and my body.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
did they give you options to take that or other pharmaceutical drugs?
Yeah, so I was actually doing a combination because they said that was more, it helped with the twitching of the muscle, the urge to have nausea is what they said.
Mm.
Okay.
Because it's a relaxant, I didn't get any twitches, no urges.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was like RSO. I
It's
wonder if
probably
that
a
was
full
some
spectrum
some
kind
type
of
of
capsule.
full
capsule.
yeah.
What's interesting because I remember that there was one of the very first pharmaceutical cannabis derivatives was made by this company. I think it was Tilray.
Oh, okay.
I forget the name of the actual. Do you remember the name of the actual capsule?
I actually pulled up a list earlier,
Hmm.
and because this was quite some time back, like around 2013,
Yeah,
I don't know the
that's right
exact
around the
name,
time.
but I know that's one of these. So what I pulled up earlier was it could be Marinol,
Yeah.
which is gross, or Nebulone. Those are like the common 3 is what I found online.
Yeah, that was like one of the very, very first pharmaceuticals that were based
That they
off
actually
of,
Yes.
came out
off of
with.
CBD.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
super interesting. One of the first companies that went onto the public stock market for public trading.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
damn.
pretty
that's
amazing.
crazy.
I wonder if they're still out today. That's
I'm
something
sure
we'd
it
have
is.
to look up.
It was assessed for myself, and if you ask me, I've heard a lot of people's stories of getting chemo, and mine was pretty harsh compared to other people. And
Mm.
the
Mm.
fact that it held in there and did its job, it's pretty amazing. Gotta
Yeah.
clap my hand to that.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, were you smoking cannabis prior?
I was, and I was during also. I would say that more helped me with the sleeping because I did have a lot of sleepless nights. So I would try to lean more to indicas at night. I'll try to get hybrids in the day because emotionally it's hard to go through that. And that kept me in a good spirit throughout the whole process. Really
Wow.
good spirit.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I know that you ended up going through this process again with cancer
Yes.
after you beat the tumor and got through all of that.
Yes.
What was it, like 5-6 years later, part of your
Yep.
body started reacting differently? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is during my first treatment, they were giving me these powerful injections as a white blood cell booster because chemo strips everything down good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the nurses actually administered it wrong, and I pulled away because of the pain. The needle actually bent in my arm. I had this bruise. Bruise never went away. The skin turned like rubber, and that's where the cancer actually formed.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no proof, and when I bring it up, they don't think that's what caused it. But
Yeah.
Of course.
the
yeah.
cancer that I ended up developing was actually chemically causing cancer from
Wow.
chemical exposure.
Wow.
It's a little
That's
crazy.
scary.
That's
Shit.
something that, we want our listeners to hear.
No,
We
definitely.
want people to be cautious of the procedure of what they're going through and
Yes,
how they're going through it, and if you see something wrong, to speak up.
absolutely.
Mm.
Listen
Big
to your
time.
body. Your body always speaks to you.
Yeah.
And heart.
Advocating for
Yeah.
yourself.
Love that. So
Mhm.
true.
Um,
So true. So it ended up being in your shoulder,
yes.
and then you had to do. I don't want to talk for you, but
Oh, yeah, for
explain
sure.
more, because it's pretty insane what you had to
Yes.
do for that
Yes.
cancer.
So that one, a lot of stuff involved, but it started growing like miracle grow once it got closer to the time that I was on it. And the funny thing is, 2 times in a row, I was taking these skin meds there to help with the acne and stuff, and it's antibiotic. And that actually, this thing is called, I can't remember the name right now. It'll come back.
Accutane.
It might have been, it's like that, because I know that one too.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much that's where the growing of this mass of my arm started just growing like insane. Like when you look at the numbers on paper and dates, you're like, holy shit, like this thing grew like 6 times the size in 2 months.
Wow.
And what's wild is I actually took that the first time I got sick, and I never clicked, like the light bulb didn't click like that. And that's where I started having symptoms of my chest pain. So I started doing research online, .gov websites, which are more legit. They're testing out rats with tumors. The tumors were actually inflaming.
No.
Oh
So
Damn.
it has a lot of inflaming properties, and that's just what antibiotics actually do usually.
shit. Oh wow. I didn't even know that part of the story.
Yeah.
I was talking about actually you speaking on your shoulder and how you had part of your other body had to be removed,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
To be patched up on your shoulder, correct?
Yeah, so because of how large of a cutout they did on my arm, this was down to the actual muscle tissue. Part of my muscle was actually cut out. They did a skin graft about a month later,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a big hole. It's like a cereal bowl. I would joke about it. But yeah, it was quite a bit, and I'm very grateful. My wife, she helped me through the whole process physically with helping me with my wound dressing and having
Amazing.
patience with me. And
Shout out to Rose.
yeah, big
Yeah.
shout out to the best wife, man.
There we
Yeah.
go. Hell yeah. I remember I wasn't a part of your first cancer,
Yeah.
but I was part of that second. If I ever spoke to anybody that's been in a life, death threatening time, which I don't think I ever really have,
Yes.
and speaking to you during that time, it seemed like you were just fine. And because your mindset, your energy was so good.
Yes.
And conversations and the text messages that we were having back and forth during that time
Oh, definitely.
was so amazing. And I know I'm at the gym getting it as a healthy man,
Yeah.
and this guy's over here with more energy than me, just ready to rock the world, not even thinking about the cancer that you just got hit with the second time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very uplifting for me and
Man.
for others around me, and including my wife too.
Wow.
And I want to thank you for that.
Inspirational, bro.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Huge.
Mhm.
That's rewarding to hear that.
Very
Yeah.
inspirational. And
Wow.
I know that we spoke about cannabis a lot during
Yes.
that time. You were smoking a lot more flower, I noticed. You did chemo as well on that second time, correct?
No, so the other one was actually all surgery.
Okay.
So no radiation, no chemo. I'm not really for chemo because it's chemicals. I'm a
Mhm.
more naturalist guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just did the surgery. I was smoking flower or vaping, should I say. I'm more of a vape guy.
Okay.
But
What's your vape brand?
Got it right here on the head. I'll be using the packs. It's just real smooth. For myself, it's my preference. Everyone has their own, what's right for them.
Yeah.
That's what's been good for me.
Packs is solid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
for
brand.
sure.
Been on shelves for a long time now.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anyone would know, it'd be
True
you,
that.
Chino.
Yeah.
That's for sure. No, I
Yeah,
definitely.
it's pros and cons. you
Yeah, I
know.
definitely would agree with you, especially just in terms of the broad variety of different types of extracts that they have. Do you have a particular type of extract that you prefer?
So I are you referring to Pax brand extracts? So I actually never even tried theirs because when I actually got on board, they had a hard time buying those. Only limited places were part of that contract. Because I've called the local areas where I live, and they're like, we're not partnered with them. We
They
don't sell
carry
that.
it. Oh,
They don't carry it.
interesting.
So I've just always done flour, grinded it, put it in. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
So we talking about the handheld vaporizer.
Yes, the handheld vaporizer,
Word.
chargeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the PAX 2 that was like one of my favorite
Yes.
handhelds for sure. Definitely solid, especially for somebody who's going through like treatment that you're going through. Like,
Oh, definitely.
Convenience of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you could preload it like right before bed, so then when you're ready to just get your little night dose or daytime too, you could just have it, light it up, turn it on, good to go.
That's amazing.
And you can play Simon Says on it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Most people don't know that there's little games built in.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
so
either.
The packs too, you have to hold the button down, like, tap it. The new one on the 3, it's got an app, but it's pretty cool.
There was another
yeah.
app too that you brought up to me today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It's something that you can take notes and help you with how you can medicate yourself. Go ahead.
No, definitely. I'm glad you brought that up. So that one's called Relief Marijuana Tracking. It's more, they'll say relief on the app. So it's like a diary for using flower. So like when you try different strains from the dispensaries, it has all the details and it'll auto populate when you type it in. It actually has the data in the back. See, and it brings up the 4 type of feelings for you, the main ones when you try it, like anxiety, sleepiness, energetic, euphoric, has everything. So now you start learning for you individually how it affects you, because everyone, it's different.
Yeah, so you can customize it to your body and what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I think it's a good way to be able to like document your results of like how you feel on a flower, or maybe a cart, some oil, or a dab on different strains and so forth. So
no, definitely.
I think that app is helpful, and hey man, make sure you send that over to me, because I'm gonna tag that, and I think I want to continue to preach that, because a lot of people these days are just, they're abusing cannabis, and I don't want the abusing to happen. I want people to actually medicate and be educated in cannabis, and that's what we're here today.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, just tailor the plant for what you're going through.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Respect.
That's important.
Yeah, I was able to find that when I was off my last round. So I was being a little bit more explorative with the cannabis stuff, and that's when I found that app. Because I would see one like, man, that one's good, but I forgot the name, or this one hit me this way, but
especially
like that
when you're smoking.
You already know, and sometimes you don't think to clear it.
Yeah, you get lost.
I'm just gonna buy all 3 because there's one of these.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, we gotta take notes too. Kyle and I've done some judging before with flower, and if you're not taking notes, if you can get lost real quick.
Definitely.
That being said, with taking notes and different strains and oils and stuff, Chino, would you recommend anything for Will to try, or if he could find, do you know where packs could be sold at near, you're in San Jose, correct?
San Jose area. I'm like a little bit outskirt of that in Hollister, but I go to San Jose every week pretty much.
Honestly, like, I've had a lot of different people in my life that have gone through cancer. Like, I had a significant other that went through cancer. One of my best friends that passed away from colon cancer almost 2 years ago was a vehement advocate for cannabis in lieu of like your cancer treatment. So one of my best friend's name was Matt Budgel. He founded the Love for Life Foundation, and when I was going through treatment for a past partner of mine, he had an adult youth like cancer survivor nonprofit where he helped support some of those young people, and we were one of those people, or my past partner was. And one of the things that he absolutely utilized was, he was definitely a smoker, really dope guy. We were able to raise up to 2 grants to support some cancer patients who were going through treatment. And one of the things that I have always seen that it was valuable to patients while they were undergoing treatment and after was a regimented as well as a conscious use of cannabis. So it was like, example, like when, as well, like when you'd come from treatment and there's that particular chemical called the red devil, that red one that makes you hella sick. The only thing that ever really helped both my friend and my past partner was cannabis, whether it was in RSO form or smokable form or edible form. One of the biggest things, and I'm sure you would agree, to help get you through those treatments would be eating food.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can't, just like you were talking about how cancer treatment breaks down nearly everything in your body, the only thing that can really revitalize you are the things you put into your body, which is using cannabis hand in hand with your pharmaceutical based treatment. In my experience, was life-saving.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like, I never experienced the nausea, I never experienced the pain, but seeing the type of relief that cannabis gave to the people that were my friends, family, and loved ones, shit, bro, that shit,
game changer.
I bet you experienced the munchies though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That was like, honestly,
which is
being-
huge.
Yeah.
People like don't look at it that way though,
Yeah.
unless you're in a situation that Will was in. It's
Mhm.
like us as and you now as a healthy individual.
Yeah.
At night when we're smoking and we're in the kitchen, we got the munchies and we're trying to stay out of the cookie
Yeah.
jar
That's right.
the best we can. But stick to that fruit, people. But at that time, it's like that medicine, that herb, cannabis is making you feel that way for a reason, to put fuel in your body like you were saying, and especially when you have some type of toxin or poison trying to delete and beat and fight something that's trying to kill you. And so having that cannabis come in to be able to bring that appetite up like you were saying, huge. How'd you feel about that? It helped your appetite? And
I was gonna say that re-sparked some things for me because it was some time back. In the beginning of chemo, I actually was losing weight because it's hard to explain, but you don't have the urge to eat.
Right.
So once I was doing that on the side recreational, I couldn't get out of the kitchen.
Oh, shit. That's what's up.
Yeah, I was waking up early when the whole house is asleep, talking 6 in the morning on the weekend. Yo, I'm about to smack down some chorizo and eggs.
Yeah.
And make me a big old
Let's
burrito.
go.
But the doctor was happy, he's gaining weight, and
Yeah.
I can truly say that helped me with my appetite. Yes.
did
for sure.
you talk to your doctor about smoking cannabis while you were going through chemo? And
I was open on that. I let them know what I'm doing because they always had to know if I'm taking meds or counter,
Yeah.
just so things don't counter with it. And they're just like, all right, kind of same thing as past guests. Just keep doing what you're doing because you know how that goes with the doctor stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
big respect. They don't want to lose their
Yeah,
license. They got to be
definitely.
careful what they say.
They can't recommend it,
Mhm.
but they like applaud you for just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
At the same
It
time,
pretty
they're
much
seeing
was,
the
for
good
sure.
results
Yeah.
that are happening.
Yeah.
And you're mentioning that cannabis is one of those things you're consuming and it's helping you.
No, definitely.
So that's fantastic.
And it
man.
shows, you
And
know?
it shows, yeah, which is great.
Definitely. One thing I would say that I've learned from my journey that I went through is your mind is the most powerful thing. So when you're going through things in life, no matter how low you go, long as you have a strong mindset, you'll come out stronger, better, wiser. Use it as a tool. I actually learned it from my first doctor because I actually went through a moment when I almost had some doubts, and I was like, do you think I'm gonna make it? And he laughed. He's, man, you have a really positive mindset.
Yes,
What
sir.
I've seen in my work that I do is the people that have positive mindsets always walk right out.
Wow.
And that always stuck with me.
Wow.
Power.
So and the flower, it definitely brings out the best of us, I feel like.
It keeps you positive
Yes.
in any situation.
Huge.
I would
Yeah.
definitely agree with you, Will. I
Yeah.
mean, even just meeting you today, like,
You would have never known.
would have never known. And honestly, like, for some of the people that I have known, like Matt, for example, like, he was one of the most chill dudes. Like,
Yeah.
one of the most zenned out dudes that I know.
Man.
And you definitely have that, like, peace about you. And just speaking upon your journey, shoot, if I ain't gonna bring peace out of you, shit, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
AKA Chill Will.
Chill Will.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
We got blessed today by connecting with someone before the show who's been a friend of mine, been honored to even meet you and hear the podcast, and he's a listener, and he works with Compound Genetics. They're doing some wild things right now with their eye candy, crossing it up. We got to stick our nose in the jars, multiple jars.
Yes.
And so we are going to try some of that product today. I told my friend from Compound Genetics that we're going to be truthful and we're going to see how it goes. And he's got some type of mixture that he wants us to try in a certain way. So let's get on that and we'll enjoy the high and go from there. And
No, definitely. And shout out to them. They did a great job on the trimming. They could just really tell that they took pride in what they do with their flower. It looks high quality.
Nice
top
variety
notch.
too.
Definitely.
That za.
Yep.
That big za. Rolled up right there.
That Versace sour number. Will, what's your favorite way to engage in cannabis?
Engage cannabis?
How do you smoking it? You edibles? What are you doing?
Typically, I like vaping because you
Vaping?
really get the true flavor. Not that I don't mind smoking, but I just feel like you get the more aromatic to it. And edibles is cool too.
Yeah.
It just matters on the day and place. If you're
For sure.
busy, you're out of town, or you hit up family or a park or something, you just want to chill out, might just pop an edible, just keep going for the night. But
Mhm.
Nice.
but if you got more free time, bust that thing out. You know what I'm saying?
Say get crazy.
Yeah.
Get crazy.
Light it up.
Light it up.
You want to smell this one?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
Smell this. Check it out. This is going to be the first one. I believe, what is that? The Versace?
Versace Sour number 4.
Versace. Light this thing up. Let's get it going today.
Smells as good as it sounds.
Let's get medicated.
Really nice structure on this flower.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
if you were to crush it, break it down via your hands.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good.
definitely a great breakdown for like a blunt smoker. If you break it down into like a grinder or something like that, really nice, billowy type of airy kind of smoke. Really enjoying rolling up some of this flower. It seems like a lot of people are going for some of that crush breakdown these days. Nobody.
Speak on that. What do you mean by crush?
I think that like I'm a person who likes to break down by hand. Some people would ask me why when you have tools like a grinder. I like to say it's a little bit more intimate, you know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
You're also a backwood roller too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely a religious backwood roller. When I'm talking about crush, when you're rolling like some flowers that have like more of a denser structure, like when you squeeze a bud, it has a breakdown response immediately where it, you know, like is almost like a fluff. Like, you know, when you break down in a grinder and it's like that muffiny like kind of texture. So envision that breaking down with your hands as opposed to, you know, in a grinder, right? What a lot of people are going to call like other kind of breakdowns is like hard body, like golf ball, where so you're gonna need a pair of scissors to break that down, and you can't really break that down with your hands entirely. Most of the time that's gonna be chunky, a little stemmy, poke through on your papers. But yeah, that's what I would say. What I really noticed about a lot of these compound flowers is that they're following suit with the market preference, that crush breakdown. It's nice to roll for sure.
Kyle and I like to call it crunchy gooey.
Crunchy gooey,
That's a good way to put it.
And I like to say that this is smooth, very tasty.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I think compounds got the cure down. You know?
Yeah. And weed that rolls itself is always good.
But it's just that extra stickiness.
That extra stickiness.
Just makes it easy.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Smooth.
It's very smooth, huh?
Very smooth.
Yeah.
Looks like you got the white ash going too.
Man.
I don't know about the white ash. I think it's trash. But that's if you guys want to participate in that conversation, forbid and let me hear it. But besides that, I think it's white ash is trash. What do you think, Chino?
Trash meaning like it's not important.
I don't think it's important at all.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I feel just like everything else, if you're gonna make a decision based upon one factor, you're leaving out a lot of other things to be considered,
That's
right?
real.
So it's, let's say I'm looking at a bag and I like the price, I like the smell, I like the structure, I like the genetics.
But then you ask, does it have white ash?
That white ash, and it's that's the only deterrent of like why I'm gonna pick that up. As long as it burns nice, you know what I'm saying? It's not fucking wet and it's not going out every 2 seconds or whatever. Like, then it should be straight, right? You know what I mean? A lot of people would say, oh, white ash translates to the
it's
way
cleaner product, right?
Exactly. But it's like literally you can put things in your nutrient solution to up that white production, which
Yes,
what
you
is
can.
it? Like
Magnesium.
magnesium, potassium, or some shit like
Magnesium.
that,
Yep.
right? And it's
Little CalMag.
It's
more
definitely-
CalMag.
Little
It's
extra
definitely-
CalMag.
It's definitely a hype, I feel like, more than anything.
This is my question. Will, you can go ahead and put it on the ashtray there.
Yes.
You can swing that out, put it on the ashtray.
Gotcha.
Just set it on there. Yep, and put the ashtray on the table.
Oh, man, I forgot that spins.
It's called the Blazy Susan.
the
Man,
Blazy Susan.
That's dope.
So this is a question that I have. Will, you are a customer at a retail store on a weekly
Ooh, that
basis.
tastes nice.
Yeah.
Do people ask you, are you looking for cannabis for white ash?
Never.
Never.
Yeah.
Do people ask you, hey, do you care about the smoke? Do you care about what it looks like? What are they coming to when you walk into that retail store? What are they saying?
Usually they just ask what strands, certain farmers, like where it comes from, or just what you're trying to accomplish out of it. Like you're trying to stay up, you're trying to chill down.
Yep.
That's pretty much your typical
common
when you walk in.
Questions, yeah. And
Or-
once you get that product and you light it up, say, so it's a flower.
Yes.
Have you ever heard about white ash?
I can't say that I have, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. And Kyle, if someone puts, let's say, nutrients inside of their blocks of sponges or soil, if they're still growing indoor with soil,
Yeah.
if you put these nutrients in, should you have to rinse them out like a flush?
No, that don't work like that.
It doesn't make sense to me, because if you're going to put something in that you need to flush out, why are you putting it in there in the first place?
That's real. Absolutely. No, I think the flush is a myth.
And I think you made a good point on one of the podcasts when you stated that if you take steroids, you ain't going to be able to flush out all those steroids.
Well, it's like, yeah, you take steroids for 8 months out of the year, and you drink water
for a week.
for the,
2 weeks.
for the last 4. You think those steroids are still going to be in your system? Of course.
Yeah, all day.
So it's the same thing.
Okay.
Like whatever, like Chino was saying, like whatever you put in your body, it's going to show up, right? Like diet's important. I feel like cannabis should come with an ingredients list, just like anything else, to be honest.
I like that. I really like that. Show what you're putting inside of your herb.
Yeah, it's like why would people not want that? Because they're trying to hide something, or is it
because they don't want to write "we flushed for a week"?
I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know. It's weird.
I thought it was a good question to ask Will, since he's a regular in a retail store, and as us as consultants and brand ambassadors and farmers, we're trying to make sure that patients like yourself are always getting the best product, pure product. Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Yeah, a pure product.
That's the word, though, the pure, because that's what it all comes down to.
Yep, 100%.
With everything, food,
ingredients,
name it, ingredients in general.
For sure, yes.
So when Chino, I know you're at the stores a lot. Let's let Will know what he could ask to get a better product in a retail store, and
that's a good question.
And anything else that you could recommend for him to say.
I appreciate that. I'd probably say for myself, just like anything else, whether it's food, whether it's cannabis, whether it's alcohol, whether it's a fucking car, it's really incumbent upon what you emphasize in terms of what you prefer and what you value, right? So I think that there's not any one question to ask, but there are questions to ask that are in alignment with what you prefer, right? So I know what I prefer. For example, if I'm going into a store looking for something, let's say I am looking for something medicinal, but I'm also looking for something that can be indulged in recreationally, right? For example, I'm much more of a flower smoker, definitely a religious flower smoker. I know what I like in terms of how it's grown, what the genetics may be, and what the terpene profile may be, right? So some of those preferences that I would include in terms of the questions that I would ask would more than likely be the first thing, which is how is it grown?
Wow.
So I love that.
I like that.
Right?
100%.
That's pretty
So
good.
it depends on the medium that you prefer, right? Do you prefer indoor? Do you prefer outdoor? Do you prefer in soil? Are you okay with smoking something that was grown in an inert substance like rock wool or Pro Mix or peat moss or cocoa noir or whatever, right? So it's like
which they don't put in the ingredients, so Will has no clue what that is. You know what I mean?
Like coming back to the ingredients is so important.
That's
then
true.
you can get more accurate on what you actually do and build that.
Instead of the plant eating off soil of good nutrients, it's eating off of the nutrients coming from a liquid that was man-made. And don't get me wrong, there's some indoor, like the stuff that we're smoking right now, that is phenomenal. That is great. This is a company that I highly recommend you to buy their flower in San Jose. I'm sure they're in there. We'll have to figure that out.
Compound's been killing it for a while.
Yeah,
I'll definitely
Compound's,
look out for it.
yeah,
Sure.
Compound's crushing it. The smoke's always good. It's always clean. It's always tastes pure. So big shout out to them. Even though I'm a sun-grown lover, I will always preach it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But if I do go indoor, it's going to be with someone like themselves or someone like Mercy Wellness. That's a local indoor grow. Shout out to their head cultivator, Ben. Great dude. Sun-grown farmer as well. There's a lot of good flower out there. Spoiled here.
Definitely spoiled.
Spoiled. So during those off-season times, if you can't get any depths or light assist, that's a good question. Let's talk about that. Does anyone ever mention that it's grown, like you were saying, Chino, to you? This is grown in a light deprivation place, or this was grown in a greenhouse, or this was grown sun-grown, or this was grown indoor with LED lights. Has that ever been mentioned to you?
No, I think what they're saying earlier, that's usually never mentioned. It's just more purely of the flavor, what it does, but not where it comes from and how it's growing. Like what type of soil and in the ground, or like he was saying. It's never mentioned at all, actually. Yeah.
I think from like a retailer standpoint, when you provide a product, you're essentially trying to provide a solution to a problem, right? And it's like if somebody's coming in, they're saying like what they want. Is saying what they want always include where it's from? Not always. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's like only 20 to 30% of the market who actually cares where it's coming from. If you think about it with food, Sonoma County is like one of those places where it's like everybody's about like where it's from. But you go to, I don't know, the Midwest or like somewhere that doesn't really care about fresh food. We
get farm to table everywhere, even though they charge us an arm and a leg for it, for being grown and raised in our backyard.
That's crazy.
But hey, we support local. We do as best as we can, always.
It comes out of that quality.
You know what I mean? It comes back to that quality and that small batch. Pay for it. What are we smoking on here?
This is a Chem 51.
What number?
Number 9.
Number 9.
Yeah,
It's
I think
nice
I remember that one. That one had a really nice aroma, right? In the
It's checking a lot of the boxes.
Yeah.
My
Not-
pops
not all of them.
smell the ash, like the
Smell
smoke, the smoke off the ash. This guy said, "Let me smell it," and instead he just put his nose to the smoke.
Man.
And I'm like, I wonder if that does anything. But
Oh, it definitely does. It's
Yeah?
OG says that?
OGs be doing that all the time.
Man.
After you hit the joint, then they bring it up to their nose because there's like a puff of smoke that comes out after you hit the joint.
oh, shit.
Yeah, man, that's like it burns your nostrils a little bit. That's
Damn.
some OG shit for sure.
Tasty, nice roll,
More of like
good airflow.
Yeah, Chino's killing it over here.
Yeah,
I try.
that's tasty.
It is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It almost it's like a fruity chem.
Yeah.
Like that.
noticing
I
that.
was
It's like
thinking
candy
that.
chem.
I was thinking the last one would have tasted like this one, after smelling it. But I haven't smelled this one yet. Can I smell it?
Yeah, and I'm picking up
There you
the
go.
scent from all over here. It smells mighty good.
Mighty
Yeah.
good, he says.
Can't go wrong with the chem.
No.
It's been around for a
Especially
while.
Sweet cam?
That's what I'm saying. Like
Ooh.
a candy chem. I'm about to
Chem?
mix something up for that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna bring the
Yep.
number 4 back.
I like
Yep.
that name though.
The candy chem.
Candy Cam.
Play with them.
Wow, this is really good.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense now
Wow.
after smelling the nug, and then that taste. Yeah, because the other one smelled pretty fruity.
I think that's what the market wants, though, right? Chino, correct me, but the candy taste and with that chem kind of finish that packs that punch, it's a stony flower. It gets, you,
That's good thinking,
it gets you there.
because anything that's candy is moving, and I'll tell you this right now: you pack that punch, it might slow down.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, some people
interesting.
can handle some gas. Some people can't handle that strong smoke. You know what I mean? Candy, because it's light. It's social. It's fun to smoke and social and party. And do you come across any candy in retail? You know what we're talking about?
Yeah, the real sweet stuff.
Like lemon
Yeah.
cherry gelato, any on the shelf? Or
They're hit and miss. I think
Yeah.
they're so high in demand. Typically, when I go in, I'll go, "You got something like this?" And go, "Oh, we just sold out. We just had some," and I think it's pretty popular.
yeah. Let us know, because we can help with that. We can source that for that retail store
I'm sure
and
they
make
can
sure
use
that
it.
have all the candy they need in there, because
They need more candy for sure.
yeah, there's a lot of facilities around here, cultivators that are growing it, and they're crushing it. They're doing a really good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Shout out to Floriterra. Shout out again to Mercy. There's some candy out there. Shout out to Moon Valley. Like, what am I missing, Chino?
I mean,
Shit.
shoot. You got Turp Hogs out there still with the candy. You got Compound with coming
Yeah.
out with that grape gas like 3 or 4 years ago. Shoot, I remember when the grape gas just hit. That shit
That
reminded
was a
me like
game
straight up
changer.
grape
Man.
pixie stick. There's different types
Pixie
of candies.
Stick.
out
Shout
there,
out to
right?
Sky Pack.
There's shout out to L Rock.
Shit, L Rock,
Shout out
man.
L
My
Rock.
guy.
Yeah.
Major love.
Yeah, we're going to have to hook up you with some of that, Will.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, we got to get some of that in here. We got to continue this where like people are giving to the patients. Like, this is where it's about. This is why we're here. This is what we want to do with our lives, is continue to help people and speak and tell people your story and let them know that this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And it can be a bad thing if you abuse it and use it disrespectfully. Always know that Mary Jane is going to be there for you. And she's only going to get better. You know why? Because we have people like ourselves and people we know that are continually studying it, just like Compound Genetics, just like our boy Matthias. They are figuring things out where the patient like yourself or like us can grow it, use it, and leave it to our ability to be a better person or a better human. And shout out.
Shout
Just
to
out
Mary.
here rambling.
Shout out to Mary.
On some real shit though.
Yeah.
On some real shit. Cannabis is something that, as a being in itself, for me, I'm I welcome the changes that she has undergone. You know what I'm saying? Because she's only changed for me in only better ways. You know what I'm saying? Whether she get more delicious or she get more.
Yeah.
We got her more dialed in.
Yep. Okay. What kind of smoker are you, Will?
So I like to wind down with just a chill type of strand in the evening.
Yep.
Typically, it just depends on the day, but that's like my most commonly thing that I do.
Nice.
I have
You're
a
not a
hard
wake
time.
and bake guy. You're a evening layback smoke.
Yeah, wind down.
Wind down.
Slow the mind down, because sometimes we just can't shut our brains down.
Ain't that the
Yeah.
truth?
Yeah, you just gotta
Yeah.
turn on just.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So it's
We all
always
got
good,
that problem.
but
Yeah.
nothing like a
Real.
good wake and bake either. I'm not gonna say no to that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Good way to start the day on certain days.
Yeah, definitely.
But the wind down is huge. I think that's important. I've said to Kyle before, man, weed will always be well and always do good because it's the only medicine that will naturally slow you down in this super fast world
Yes.
that is continually just going faster and faster and like just stressing people out more and more. And it sucks. But thank God for Mary Jane
Absolutely.
because the weed will slow you down.
Amen.
Hey, respect.
All
Sorry,
day.
I'm feeling good.
No,
Yeah,
there you
smoke of
go.
the day.
Yo,
Yeah.
preach, bro.
Yeah.
Preach. You're killing it, man.
Yeah, that joint was good. So what do you guys
Very
think?
good.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the
Okay.
herb.
I'm a fan.
The second
I'm
one,
a fan
we're
of
all a
both
fan.
of them. Yeah.
Man,
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'm not looking at no white ash to tell me if I'm feeling good right now. You know, that Kim 91. I'm not much of a sativa smoker. Kim, I've always had like, a special place in my heart for being like one of those heirloom derivatives. Kind of like I feel like I was seeing like last year where a lot of people were talking about bringing back the old schools and phasing out the candies. But what I think is really cool is that this Kim 51, like this one, like Dave, like you were saying, like it has that like slight candy. I think it's okay to incorporate slight candies to heirloom profiles because it's like
Hell yeah.
Like it has a lot of depth. It
Yeah.
just brings out the depth almost.
It's a good way to put it.
Just
Yeah.
like that candy and like that fuely finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, man.
You guys want to hear something funny?
what?
The other day I was talking to someone and they said, I like the weed with the crystals. And I said, are you talking about the trichomes? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
yeah, the most important thing about the plant, the trichomes.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we talk about that? Why don't people start looking at that more?
Talking about like the age of the trichome.
All of it.
Like when they actually harvest and pick the plant.
That's important too.
That is very important.
That is
I feel
so
like
important.
That should be another thing on the bag.
That should be an ingredient.
Definitely. I agree.
FDA approved.
I mean,
Needs
just
to
like
be-
food, you know,
Needs to be on the
like
bag.
eggs, it says organic, then there's free range. It's like how the chickens came up. How come they don't
Yeah,
do that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
a breakdown on how
Yeah.
everything is grown and
Definitely.
finished.
And shout out to a lot of people that do that respectfully here in our retail stores in Sonoma County, Santa Rosa, California. All of them are by the book. They'll tell you exactly how they're growing. They got great product out there. But there's other places out there and there's other things being grown that I have seen and heard about and I'm very disappointed in, and I want to make sure that people are getting the right cannabis and those people are getting the stuff that smokes well and for their health, not just for the white ash. And
Yeah.
what we got here?
This stuff right here, this chrome dome, I think this is the one that, you know, we
Can
opened
we pass
up.
the bag?
Please. This is going to have that, like, classic slight perp to it. On that sugar leaf, you're going to have that nice slight perp. Definitely has some of that Tropicana look to it, but more lime green. I really enjoy the breakdown in this flower. To be quite honest, this is something I would throw in a Paxton's Pearl Boy. I would
Ooh,
throw up
wow.
in a Vibe rice paper, an
Okay.
OCB, a Devon Bay paper. I'm a roller. So that flower, just in terms of the breakdown so far, I like that one the best.
You like that lemon, huh?
I like that lemon, and I'm
Yeah.
not even a sativa smoker, like I said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
But it's a cool terp to switch
Yeah,
it up. And
absolutely.
and it's going to be a little different smoke.
yeah,
Yep.
it's definitely nice to smoke pallets out of my preference, where it's okay. It's other than candy, but a different type of sweetness. Ooh,
Man.
So I was
This-
sent
This one tastes different
I was
in,
sent a
in the
message.
best way.
I was sent a message to
Man.
smoke this a certain way. I don't know if we did it correctly, but I'm gonna double check.
We did do it correctly.
We did.
We did.
Let me see here. Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Versace, Chem, and the Chrome Dome. And this is the Chrome Dome.
That's the Chrome Dome to finish it off.
Nice.
That thing tastes amazing.
You guys finally did something right.
It has that
You already
Tropicana
know.
in there. That
When it
kinda-
comes down to rolling trees, I know I could do that.
Man.
I know I could at least do that.
That was nice.
Yeah. Just even off
Ooh.
of smelling it.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tasty.
I bet.
And the order. Okay, I like to drink wine and try chocolates.
Yeah.
Done it a few times.
The pairing.
The pairing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
got you.
But it's like a tasting as well. This taste, this pairing, the way it went, the way that they were telling us to smoke it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Matthias, because that
Jeez,
is the
major
way
love, bro.
you do it. Like those were the
Mhm.
3 that had to be smoked in a row because of just the highs and the way that it's tasting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm not bored smoking the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it makes me want to hit it again because I'm like, wow, this is tasteful.
Yeah, I would agree, right? If you think about it in the sense of a pairing or like a sommelier, if you think about it like in the terms of pairing it with food, but the food being the terpene profile, right? So you had the sour first. Sour was almost like a little bit more of that. It sounded like sour with a little bit of savory.
Yeah.
And then we had the chem, which was like a little bit more savory with a little bit more sweetness.
Mhm.
And then you come up on the end and you smack them with the sweetness on off the bat. Like,
Mhm.
I definitely like the way it went too. Those are definitely some impressive cuts.
Mhm.
I'm very fortunate.
We're going to connect Will with a little bit more than just those 3 bags.
Yeah.
Let's bless you for some fresh
Have
flowers.
some options to go to.
Man.
Thank you, Compound Genetics. Thank you,
Compound.
Matthias.
Very grateful.
Big respect.
Yeah, thank you.
Will, do you want to give a shout out? Do you want to tell people where they can hit you up on Instagram if they have any questions on your cannabis cancer journey?
One Harvest podcast for
Hey.
doing an amazing job and
Appreciate
touching
you, bro.
people's lives with everyone's individual stories and giving people more details about the industry. Because I'm more new and I still want to learn more too.
Yeah, man.
Right on. Hell yeah.
Never ending journey.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Always learning.
But I'm on Instagram, Will I Am. I got like little underscores and then 925.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You got any questions? Hit them up.
Yes, sir.
Chill Will.
Chill
Thank
Willie.
you so
Let's go,
much.
baby.
Super grateful, my man.
Yeah, definitely appreciate
Man.
you for your time and just telling a little bit about your story, pairing the beauty and the medicinal value that is this plant and how it's helped you. I think, speaking upon everyone here and also myself, like cannabis has helped me in a lot of ways, and including introducing me to people like yourself. So
Hey.
thank you for speaking about the plant.
No, thank you too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it touched your life and other people's lives as well. Because it really is a medicine. Yeah. I
Absolutely.
hate that
Truly
it's
is.
labelized as a drug. It's just like you got a sore throat, you go get a cough drop. You treat it the same way. You know what you need and you know what you got to get.
Yeah,
So true.
that's real. Appreciate you, Will.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing your
appreciate
journey,
you
bro.
guys. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be back on here again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Sounds
go.
good.
Episode 2 with Chill Will.
That's right.
One harvest, one love.
Ah,
Peace.
ha, ha.
Let's get it.
Hey. Flex it.